Pop-Tarts are an infamously guilty pleasure, packed with jam, frosting, or even sprinkles on some flavors. They're pretty hard to resist. Like most tasty, sugary things though, they're best to avoid. Pop-Tarts are high in sugar and fat, but have surprisingly little fiber or protein for all the calories that they have. This means that a Pop-Tart will take up a large amount of your daily calorie allowance without actually giving you any of the nutrients that you need to push on during the day. 2 pieces of frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts contain 380 calories and 9 grams of fat. That's 14% of your daily recommended intake, of which 3 grams of that are saturated fats. Also, they contain 320 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of protein, and 70 grams of carbohydrates. 24% of the recommended daily intake, of which 30 grams are sugar. Of course, this varies depending on the flavor and filling. Pop-Tarts should be avoided if you're a diabetic. They are too high in refined carbohydrates and sugar. Not only that, but they are incredibly easy to overeat. Pop-Tarts are processed pastry, which means that they're full of refined flour and sugar. This will immediately spike your blood sugar. The glycemic index is used to see how much a food will increase blood sugar levels. To give you an idea, pure glucose has a GI, glycemic index, of 100, and a GI level of 20 doesn't raise your blood sugar all that much. With this in mind, notice that a Pop-Tart has a GI of 70. This is because processed foods and grains tend to be higher on the glycemic index instead of if you were just to eat fresh produce. So Pop-Tarts are best to avoid altogether. There are not many commercial alternatives to Pop-Tarts, since these sugar treats are, per definition, packed with sugar and grains. But if you are looking to be inspired with breakfast ideas, why not try out a homemade smoothie with almond milk, nuts, and frozen berries? Or some low-sugar, low-fat homemade muesli with low-fat Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is a great option, since it has even less carbohydrates and sugar than normal yogurt. This makes it easier for diabetics to manage their blood sugar levels and make sure they don't start the day with a high sugar spike. If you're feeling particularly inspired, maybe you could try making low-carb, low-sugar Pop-Tarts at home. There are lots of recipes online that replace normal flour with coconut flour or almond flour, unsweetened coconut milk instead of milk, and sugar-free crystal sweetener instead of sugar. For the filling, you can use sugar-free jam and fresh strawberries. You could also add chia seeds and other nuts for the filling so that you get extra nutrients with your snack. The more nutrients you can fit into each food you eat, the better. Some creative chefs online are even experimenting with chia jam, since chia creates a thick, sticky texture like jam without any of the added sugar. The alternatives are endless.